We are now live. Hello, everyone. What day is it today? Monday. Happy Monday. Wait for some people to join. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? I'm outside and there's a lawnmower. Hello. How's the sound? It is Monday. Hi, Chad. I don't have my glasses, so I won't be able to read as well the comments. I sound great. Okay, good. Holy Moses, you guys, I want to jump on. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a live. Oh, wow, are the energies intense? And I want to just talk about them in case you're going through it. You know, I feel like one of the most powerful things we can do is talk about the energies that we feel in our bodies, on the planet, just doing our daily, everyday thing. I think this idea of trying to ignore or deny, push down, pretend we aren't going up and down like a roller coaster with energies and emotions and all of it, right, would be denying the human evolution. And I think the more that we can talk about, you know, everything that we're feeling, everything that we're going through, the more we can bring light to what it is we're going through, which is the evolution in consciousness. Consciousness is energy. How could you not be feeling a shit ton of energy if it's shifting, if you're evolving through it? And so today I've just been feeling really, really emotional. I've been feeling not of this world, right? This isn't anything new. This isn't anything out of the ordinary, but it is a consistent theme, at least for myself, which is I don't feel of this world. I don't feel like I fit in, and I feel different. I feel unique, and I'm not going to try to be anything other than who I am. And if I feel a shit ton of emotions on one day and then the next day I feel pretty even keeled, that is what the fuck it is. And there doesn't need to be a story around it or a label around it. I think there are many times that we forget that we are literally standing in an emotional fishbowl, an energetic fishbowl with so much emotion. You know, and this fishbowl, there is energy in the water and there's energy in us. And it's asinine to think that we are not going to feel crazy on certain days. That we have to keep normalizing this. We have to keep making this normal. We have to keep getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. I mean, it's like the more we hear it, the more we're like, oh my God, we're talking about the same thing. And it's like, yeah, because there's no getting out of this. There's no fixing this. There's no changing this. There's no like, I can't wait till I'm no longer going to be experiencing these things. This doesn't go anywhere. It's about learning how to be in all of this, learning how to be in these intense emotions, these intense thoughts, be in it, because you're not it, right? One of the things I've been feeling today is, aside from a lot of emotion, just really feeling like crying, really feeling like I want my mom to hug me, you know, like, where's my mom? Can she hug me today? There's a feeling of I need somebody to take care of me. Can somebody remind me that everything's going to be okay? That's the energies I feel. My body, even right now as I'm speaking to you guys, my body is vibrating. This vibration isn't like, oh my God, you're so enlightened, you're in a higher frequency, you're in a high vibration. I think the more that you step into what it is we're going through, the more you realize that it isn't about moving into high vibrations. It's about literally just getting through, you know, what it is that you're in, getting through what it is that you're feeling, just moving through it, right? Learning how to, or remembering how to move through it, remembering how to just feel, remembering how to not attach, you know, remembering how to not necessarily change, paying attention to what you're trying to control, paying attention to what you're trying to run from, paying attention to if you're being distracted by the external world and all the bullshit that's happening in the external world, you know, and that it's all an illusion. As I'm going through my audit with the IRS, it's like, this is just an illusion. Like, it's all an illusion. And there's nothing wrong with stepping out of the matrix, okay? But what if it's not about stepping out of the matrix? What if it's about realizing that the matrix is an illusion? And so it's, what that means is that it's real and it's not real. So I'm in it and I'm not in it. I'm going through an IRS audit, you know, and yet it's not real on an energetic level. It has no bearing on my beingness. It's a strange, it's really difficult to explain this on an energetic level or even physical, like with words. But it's like, hold on, my internet's getting really wonky. Am I freezing on you guys? I think I'm freezing. Let me know if I'm freezing. I think there's this really interesting idea of like, this interesting idea of exiting the matrix, you know, like somehow we're going to get out of the matrix. And I don't think it's about exiting the matrix. I think it's about learning how to be in the matrix, realizing that you're not the matrix. You know, I've said this for a while and I'll just continue to say it. We're probably going to be going down a pretty dark path in humanity's evolution. And a dark path just means that we're going to have to continue to see a lot of shit. And if you can't weather the storm in your own body, if you can't sit with the ups and downs, if you can't sit with the emotional states you don't like, if you're constantly running and chasing, you're going to have a hard time moving through this. I think that one of the biggest cosmic jokes of the universe is that there's nowhere to go. You just have to move through it. Moving through it isn't moving around it. It's not bypassing it. It's not even figuring out other solutions. In my opinion, the fastest way through this is through it. And letting the throughness show us how we are designed to do it. It's really, really difficult for humanity to be in that, because then you have to just pause, you have to just be, you have to just sit, you have to observe. You choose, always, you're always choosing. What am I going to play in and what am I not going to play in? But what if it's not running from what's coming? Right? What if it's looking AI right in the eyes? What if it's looking at all of this and just standing in it and saying, holy fuck, here we go? What if you knew that at the end, at the other side of this tunnel, whatever you want to call it, whether it's, you know, in my belief, there's a huge genocide happening on the planet. In my opinion, there's probably going to be about 4 billion humans that are going to die in the next 20, 25 years. We're in a genocide right now. And me having that awareness doesn't mean that I'm depressed all day long. Doesn't mean that I'm trying to find solutions either. It means that I'm standing in this awareness and I'm realizing that the end of this tunnel, whatever it is that I'm going through, whatever it is that this is that we're going through, that at the other end of this tunnel is the outcome. It is the solution. And the way of the master is to walk through the tunnel. And I'm curious, you know, because I don't know how, in terms of time frame, right? Because we live in linearity. I don't know how long this is going to take, whether we see this in our lifetime or not. And I don't even know what it is that we're seeing, right? What are we actually going to be seeing at the end of? And is there an end? No, I don't think there's an end. So, like so many beautiful thought leaders have said, it's like it's the journey, right? Not the destination. So what if that's true right now? What if it's actually the beingness that matters the most? You can fight all you want. You can be in an uproar all you want. You can show all these horrific things that are happening. But what if at the end of the day it's your actual state of being that changes everything? That alters and shifts everything. And if you try to think about how that's reflective in your everyday moments, are you capable of feeling everything? Are you capable of watching all your thoughts? Are you courageous enough to slow down so deeply that it's unbearable? You know, if you think about the deepest internal work you've ever done, you've never looked for solutions. The solutions arise. The answers arise just in the beingness of what you don't want to be in. What if that's the same with humanity? I'm not saying that's the answer for what we're going through in this human evolution in terms of the outside world, the governments and all this shit that's going down. Just saying, what if it is? What if the answer is that we stop the fighting and we start being deeper? What if we realize that our deepest power, our deepest strength, is being able to simply stand in it, close our eyes and say this, just like my taxes. I stand in it, I close my eyes, I realize I'm going through it, and I realize that it has no power over me. That on one level, having to pay the IRS more money and being audited, on one level, one emotional state, it's disgusting and nerve-wracking and makes me sick and angry. And on a deeper level of awareness, it has no impact on my peace. That's the level of awareness humanity is being asked to step into. And most of us are still on that surface level. The surface level is the reaction, the response, being in the illusion that all of this impacts us. And it does. It does impact us. Paying extra taxes does impact me on some level. I have to write a check. Abso-fucking-lutely. But what if we're all being asked to go beyond that? To go deeper? So you have the awareness that humans are being murdered and killed, right? That there are, horrible, horrible evils happening on the planet. That we're being lied to and manipulated all the time. You have that awareness. You're watching that play out, right? You're choosing from that state what you're going to play in and what you're not going to play in based on what you think you have control over. And then you're being asked to drop deeper. Then you're being asked to let go of this idea that what you're watching actually has an impact on you. It does and it doesn't. It's inevitable what we're in. We are in the tunnel. You look around on both sides, we're in a tunnel. There's the illusion that we can escape it, that we can go somewhere else. But what if we can't? What if we're actually in a tunnel? And awareness is extremely important. Choice. But what if we have to see it all play out? How would you be in that? How would you navigate it from that state? How would you show up every day if you knew that no matter what, we were going to have to go through this? That we were going to have to watch even more corruption and evil play out? That we were going to have to watch even more humans die from deceit, from greed, from manipulation? Think of how we would be if we knew that there was nowhere to go. If you think about your own personal life, I don't know about you, but I sure the heck know about me. Every day is a training ground. Every day it's a deeper awareness of what I am feeling, what I am acting in, what I am responding to, how I am being. Why is that? Why are we constantly being redirected back into ourselves over and over and over right now? While we are simultaneously being shown the shadow of the external world. The reason that we are being redirected back in over, at least for me, over and over and over, is because the master masters his internal world before he even begins to try to master that external world. The master realizes that the external world has nothing over his internal world. And when the master starts realizing that, then he can burn through anything. She can burn through anything. It doesn't matter if you're in a tunnel full of evil. Because you've mastered your state of being, which means that nothing has impact over you, no matter what it is. The IRS comes knocking on your door. It's not impacting you. It's simply an experience. So fucking what? It's the Matrix. This whole idea that you're going to exit the Matrix will keep you in suffering. You're not going anywhere. You are in the Matrix. Welcome. Your state of being is what exits the Matrix. It's your state of beingness that exits the Matrix. Which means that it's not you running from what is showing up physically. The warrior doesn't run from the battle. The master doesn't run. It doesn't try to pretend. It doesn't even try to find other ways around. The master just stands in it. And that's not to say that there isn't, we don't need to fight against necessarily. I think that there's a different state of being that's being spoken of right now, that I'm speaking to. Right? But even that, there's a deeper, right now there's just this message coming in that it's like, yes, we have to have choice. Yes, we have to say no, right? Yes, we have autonomy over our bodies. Yes, we need to start standing up to freedom and things like that, and we will continue to. But it's this way in which we are viewing it. It's the lens that you're using. It's the same thing with people that have cancer. My best friend has cancer right now. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. I believe it's stage 3. She's about to start chemo. And how are we viewing it? We're not fighting cancer. We're not battling cancer. Right? Her body is moving cancer through her. Right? There's a receptivity and an openness to whatever poisons were in her body. And this knowingness that the body is healing her. It's a very different energy. It's the same with the external world. It's the exact same thing. You hold this energy of fighting against, battling against. You're actually not the master of your internal world. Because what you're actually doing is fighting against and battling against your own internal demons. Humanity doesn't want to see it like that. And people don't want to see it like that. But if you're not capable of sitting with your most uncomfortable thoughts, if you're not capable of sitting with your most uncomfortable emotions, if you're not continuing to go in over and over and over, and it starts to become all about what's happening externally, that's beautiful, that's fabulous, but I'm going to tell you in 2023, you're going to be redirected back inside in some crazy ways. In some very crazy ways. The external is going to continue to unravel in front of us. We don't have to do anything to watch that happen. We have to become the masters in it. We have to learn how to stand in it with some sense of peace. Not hatred, not divide, not belittling, not dividing, not control. So you think about what's going on in your own life right now. You know, are you trying to control someone or yourself? Are you belittling someone or yourself? Are you wanting somebody to be different than who they are? Are you wanting yourself to be different than who you are? These are very tiny ways that show up for us to become the master. And the master isn't perfect, it's imperfection. The master is imperfect. And the imperfection is that the master allows whatever is to just be. That's the master. Whatever is, just is. Whatever's arising, just is. Whatever shit show's coming in for you, just is. The earth is going to shake a lot more. It's going to get a lot crazier. It's going to continue to get crazy. What we're doing is being trained in how to stand in that. How do you view yourself? Do you realize that you're a unique expression? Or are you trying to fit in? Are you realizing more and more how unique you are, how different you are, how you don't fit in? And is it making you uncomfortable? Is it becoming harder and harder to just sit with yourself? And why is that? Are you feeling more and more and more? And if so, why? Are you being confronted with your own judgments about yourself and others over and over and over again? Why? The why is to learn how to be the imperfect master, to stand in the fire, to stand on the battlefield, to no longer run, to show up for life and say, show me. What else is there? What else do you have? Let's go. I'm not afraid that there is a mass genocide happening on the planet. How do I open my heart more? How can I open my heart even more? How can I feel even more? Understanding that there is so much corruption on the planet, so much deception. How can you stand in that and feel it? How can you look deception in the eye? How can you look corruption in the eye? How can you feel it and just let it move through your body? It's what we're learning. And we do that by continuing to practice it in our own inner worlds. We're just in the beginning of this, right? We're just in the beginning. So before I go, because my phone's about to die, before I leave, what we're in, what we're going to continue to move through, it's not about finding the comfortable way through. It's not about holding the highest vibration or the most positive thoughts. It's not about making the most money. It's not about, finding the answers. It's about standing in, sitting in, being in what is. What's arising for you right now? What's simply just wanting to be felt within you? That's it. And can you allow it? Can you allow the thoughts? You don't think you're good enough. You're in lack. You want to be making more money. You hate where you are. You hate that you're in a job right now. You hate that you're in a cubicle. You hate your boss. Allow that. Allow that. Practice that. You hate your partner. You want to get a divorce. You can't get a divorce. You don't know where you're going to live. Be in that. Allow that. Accept it. Observe it. Feel it. Accept it. Observe it. Feel it. Stop trying to change it. It's the same thing with the external world. We're wanting to change it, change it, change it, change it, change it. What if you stopped trying to change the external world? The deeper freedom that comes when you stop trying to change it. You realize that when you simply allow and accept and feel the external bullshit and the internal world, you're free. You have choice. We're not escaping anything and we're not going anywhere. There is no beautiful new earth heaven that's going to pop in and you're going to walk through the pearly gates of heaven and all of a sudden life's going to be amazing. That's an internal job. And we don't want to do that job. We don't want to do that work. We don't want to realize that nothing outside of us is going to save us from the outside or the internal world. We want to believe that something's going to happen where we're all of a sudden going to walk through the gates and we're going to be in some beautiful world. It's right here, right now. It's in the dark. It's in the chaos. It's in the evil. Stop trying to find it elsewhere. Stop trying to search for it elsewhere. That's the quantum field. The dark and the light are the same. They're in the same breath. They're in the same moment. They're in the same now. It's all right here, right now. The sadness and the joy are right here, right now. The love and the hate is right here, right now. The evil and the peace and the love and the unity is right here. There is nowhere to go. There's nowhere to find it. There's nowhere you can move to create it. It's already here. It's opening up to that awareness. And the way that you open to that quantum field, the way you open to that awareness is that you have to stand in the now. And the way that you stand in the now, the way that you be in the now, is that you experience what is. Without changing it, without resisting it, without judging it as good, bad, right, wrong, positive, negative, high vibe, low vibe. That's all bullshit. That's all separation. That's all dividing you and pulling you out of the most miraculous gift of life, which is the quantum field, which is that everything is available right here, right now. Everything. Corruption's going to continue to unravel. Destruction's going to continue to unravel. Deceit, manipulation, mind control. All the horrible things we're seeing, it's going to continue until it doesn't. And in the meantime, it exists and it doesn't exist. It's all of it. It's not about ignoring, denying, or bypassing it, internally and externally. It's about standing in it all. One moment, you're recognizing whatever's happening in the external world, the matrix that you live in that you think you're going to be able to escape. And then 5 minutes later, you find your breath and you realize the contentment that you have right here, right now, no matter what's going on. That's why freedom is an inside job. Freedom isn't an outside job. We're continuing to look to the external to escape this. And then we look to the external and we get so angry with what's happening in the external world. We want to fight against what's happening in the external world because unconsciously we're fighting with what's happening on the internal world. Most of us, most humans, haven't truly accepted all of who they are. They're still fighting against parts of themselves that they don't like or they don't want to be. Which just makes sense. I'm doing it. We all do it. So just pay attention. Pay attention throughout your day. What is right here, right now? Right here, right now, no matter where you are on the planet, there is evil and there is love. There is connection and there is division. There are beautiful things happening and there are horrible things happening. Right here, right now, in your own body, there is love. And there's probably some sort of dissatisfaction within you. There is contentment, right? And there is perhaps aspects of anxiety or frustration. There is joy right here, right now, and there is anger right here, right now. None of it is you. None of it's absolute. None of it sticks. It's just the experience. It's just an experience. It's just energy. It's just energy reflecting to you that you're having the human experience. And it's constantly trying to remind you how to become this beautiful master in it all. Stop trying to change or fix what you're in, meaning what you're feeling, what you're observing, what you're in, what you're moving through. What if you stopped trying to change it or fix it? What if by simply allowing yourself to be in it, that is what shifts it? That is what shifts it. It's the opposite of what we've been told. Right? We've been told that we have to control this and we have to change this and we have to fix this. And I would say it's the opposite. I would say it's the opposite, you guys. We surrender into it. When you surrender into it, when you're not afraid of it, the reason we don't want to feel certain things, the reason we try to change things, fix things, positive think our way out of things, whatever that is, the reason we do that is because we're afraid of feeling it. We're afraid of seeing it. We're afraid of acknowledging it. We're afraid of speaking to it. We're afraid. Why are we afraid? Because we think that we are it. And if I speak to this, if I allow this, if I feel this, then somehow I am it. And the more that you just allow yourself to be in it, you realize, holy fuck, I'm not this. This doesn't have control over me. Has no control over me. And being in it doesn't mean that you're wallowing in it. Being in it simply means that you are showing up and allowing whatever is in this moment to move through, to be felt. If you are afraid of it, and if you are attaching to it, and if there is a judgment to it, you will grab it, you will anchor it, and you will hold it. And then you will fight against it, and you will try to change it. There's nothing to change, including the external world. Change happens when you simply are in it. when you stay awake to what is, when you feel it, when you take responsibility for your reactions, your responses, how you're being in it, your choices you're making, that there is no victim. You're not a victim, as hard as that is for us to grasp, as difficult as that is for us to hold. You don't have to hold it. There's many humans going through things, especially children, where that never needs to be held, right? But for many of us watching this, you're not a victim. And stop complaining about what's happening in the world. It's happening. You're in it. How are you going to be in it? How are you going to be in this? Don't run from yourself. Don't run from you. Don't run from the deeper remembrances that are happening in you right now. Don't run from the gifts that are being given to you. Don't run from your uniqueness. Hey, Phil. Don't run from your uniqueness. Don't let other people pull you out of your uniqueness. If you don't fit in this world, allow that to be a gift. Instead of complaining, I don't fit in this world, I don't fit in this world, I don't fit in this world. Devour that. Yeah, you don't fit in this world. Yes. Now go change it by being all of you. Go change the world by being all of you. Go change the world by keeping your heart open. The more that you allow yourself to be all of you, the more you allow others to be all of them, no matter how they show up. And then one by one, we change the world. It's a big theme for 2023 is uniqueness. And instead of saying, I don't fit in and I don't fit in, of course you don't. Who the fuck cares? Move on. How are you going to be in this world? Yep, you don't fit in. Next. I don't like what's happening in the world. How long are you going to hold that story? This sucks. There's so much evil. There's so much corruption. How long are you going to hold that story? Because it's going on for years. You going to keep holding that story? Or are you going to settle into who you are? Settle into what's being asked of you to feel. Settle into how you're showing up. Every external reflection, every time you go outward, it's an invitation to come back in. Every time you're complaining about the external, it's an invitation to look at what you don't want to see inside of you. Because the more peace that you find within yourself, this is a doozy for me, this is a hard one for me, but the more peace that we're able to find within ourselves, the more peace we will find in the external world. We will be able to watch the shit show with popcorn. The more chaos that we hold within ourselves, the more we resist who we are, the more we resist the emotions, the thoughts, the beliefs, and the behaviors. Resist them meaning they are wrong, they are bad. I should not be feeling this. I should not be thinking this. I'm going to dismiss it. I'm going to stuff it down. The more you do that, the more anger you're going to have in the world. The more you're going to create divide in the world. The more you're going to get mad at other people. The more you're going to yell at other people. And the more you're going to want other people to change. The reason you want other people to change is because you have yet to accept yourself. So actually, the more you are trying to change other people, it's a redirection back in, asking you what it is within you that you still haven't fully accepted. And I don't care who you are, most of us have not fully accepted ourselves. If you have, then you are fully capable of allowing all of your shitty shits to be there. Fully accepting yourself does not mean that you love all of the parts of yourself. Like, oh, I love that I'm this. I love that. No, that's not what it means. It means you recognize, fuck, this aspect of me. I am this part, this aspect of me that shows up, this insecure aspect of me. Fuck, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. That's loving yourself. That's accepting yourself, accepting every fucking facet of you, every aspect of you that shows up, whether you like it or not. It's not about changing you in order to accept you. It's not about changing the external world in order to be able to stand in the external world. It's no longer about changing the shit we're in. It's about allowing all the shit we're in. Can you allow all the shitty parts of you that you don't like? Can you allow that? Can you allow it? That is acceptance. That is deep, deep self-love. That's it. What parts of you that do you have inside of you that take the microphone that you don't like? That you don't want? That you wish wasn't there? Accept that. Let that be okay. Let that part of you be okay. You're in a marriage and you really don't want to be in the marriage, but you're still in the marriage. There's an aspect of you that's afraid to leave the marriage. Let that aspect be okay. Let that aspect be okay. Give that aspect a hug. Tell that aspect she or he is a fucking badass, and that is a self-acceptance. That's love. The world is going to hell in a handbasket right now. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I am watching it. Instead of bitching and moaning and complaining about it. The external and the internal are evolving together. The biggest piece is learning how to stand in it and accept it. And it's from that acceptance that you step into deep love. And it's from deep love that you can truly change the world. It's where you make the most impact. It starts with ourselves. What parts of you do you still want to change? What parts of you are really hard to accept? How often are you trying to change other people? Right? They should be doing it this way. They shouldn't be doing it like this. They should be doing this. Who the fuck are you to tell somebody what they should or shouldn't be doing? Excuse my language, but seriously. You're in a relationship with someone that's telling you how you should or shouldn't be, get the hell out. Sorry. If we aren't at a level of awareness at this point where we are no longer shoulding other people, I don't know what to do. Shoulding people is insane to me. Well, you really should be doing this. I think that you should be doing it this way. I think you need to be doing it like this. I think like, what? Come again? Sorry, don't think I heard you correctly. No. If you have anybody in your life that is shoulding you, you should be, you need to, you better. It's an invitation to become you even more. An invitation for you to get even louder. Get even louder. Don't let anyone should you. No one. I can't even remember the last time I shoulded somebody, like, oh, you should do this. In the sense of like, not because they're asking me like, what do you think? But because I believe that they need to be doing life a certain way. If you think that your way of doing life is the way everyone needs to do life, holy shit, you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of internal work to do. If you think that your way of living, or if you know if you're in some sort of friendship or partnership or co-workers or whatever that think that their way of life is the way that people need to be living, there is some deep inner work that still needs to happen. The true master is the one that is so humble in how they are living life, that they're capable of allowing humans to live the life they're choosing to live. When you should people or try to change people, it's because you are still not fully accepting all the parts of you. All the little parts of you that you don't like. So you judge other people, you should other people, you critique and criticize other people. The true master, the imperfected, beautiful master, is the humble human that knows that the way they're living their life is the way they're choosing to live their life. No one needs to live it the way they're living it. There's a confidence in how you show up. There's a humble confidence in how you live life. And when you start embodying more of you, more of your humble confidence in what you're choosing to do, how you're choosing to be, how you're choosing to show up, you will stop judging and changing and critiquing other people. It just doesn't happen. It makes no sense. I would even argue that the more somebody critiques others, it's because they're critiquing themselves. Obviously, right? The more somebody judges you, it's because they're judging themselves. I don't know where that came from, but all right, I'm going to save this. It will be on Instagram and Facebook, and it will also be on YouTube, my YouTube channel. All right, you guys. I would answer some questions, but I can't read any of the comments. All right, I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Be gentle with yourselves. Be gentle with others. Lots of love.